Hello and welcome to another episode of Video Game Easter Eggs, the series where we take a look at some of the latest and not so latest Easter eggs in video games. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, and if you do, I promise I'll stop leaving dog poo on your doorstep. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with Angerfoot. Now, we originally covered Angerfoot all the way back in July 2022, where we discovered that after killing you, enemies would celebrate by twerking. Well, fast forward 2 years and the full game has now been released, and it has brought with it some very strange rooms. First up, during the Sunny Hill Apartments level, you can find this. So, a room full of skeletons making it rain. Now, I'm not sure if this is a reference to anything in particular or just an excuse to have skeletons splashing the cash. So, if you do know what this might be referring to, please let me know in the comments. The other secret room in Angerfoot is arguably even stranger. During the Pot Shots level, you can find this. So, a room full of toasters. Again, I have no idea if this is referencing anything in particular, but what I do know is walking into the room and causing the toasters to pop is surprisingly satisfying. Now, this next Easter egg sees us meeting a character that I recently discovered is way more popular than I thought he was. During the pollution level, you can find this guy. So this threatening looking chap is actually Jacket from Payday 2. Of course, I'm joking. I've made that mistake once and trust me, I won't make it again. No, this is Jacket from Hotline Miami, and given the obvious Hotline Miami inspirations in Angerfoot, it's a pretty suitable cameo from the Payday 2 heister. Again, that was a joke. Right, it's now time for our overused video game Easter egg of the week. The segment where we take a look at one Easter egg that has been referenced to death in video games. Today's Easter egg can actually be found in Angerfoot. During several different levels, you can find this carpet, which is the same carpet seen in The Shining. Be sure to join me next time for another overused video game Easter egg of the week. Now, a couple of weeks ago, the latest entry in the Kingdom Rush series released on Steam, iOS, and Android. Kingdom Rush 5 Alliance is pretty much more of the same from the classic tower defense series. And when I say more of the same, I of course also mean more Easter eggs. First up, on the game's second level, you can find this little guy fishing on his lonesome. Clicking him will cause him to hook either a boot or a fish, neither of which are of any use to you. Well, if you wait long enough and just play the game as usual, eventually this will happen.
Cleanse the land.
So an exclamation mark will appear above our fisherman's head, which is our prompt to click him, which will reward us with a rupee that is worth 25 in-game coins. Now, if this wasn't painfully obvious already, this fisherman is Link from the Legend of Zelda series, where the rupee is used as currency. The other Alliance Easter egg that I found so far also references a famous video game hero. During level 7, you can do this. So clicking the monster behind the tree will cause a white-haired man to appear and slay it. Again, this one is pretty obvious, but if you didn't get it, this is a reference to Geralt from The Witcher and his monster hunting ways. Now, we've already covered a ton of Easter eggs from the Eggcellent Selaco, some of which were graffiti of other popular games. Well, I do have one more Selaco Easter egg that I wanted to share, and this one references one of the toughest gangs in all of video games. When climbing this ladder, you can find this. So the Tunnel Snakes are the gang that could be found in Vault 101 from Fallout 3.
Because we're the Tunnel Snakes, and we rule!
Now, it's been over a year since we last covered the excellent Bloons TD6. and even then it was the underwhelming discovery of a dinosaur skeleton. Well, the Bloons Easter egg that I bring to you today is much, much cooler. On the encrypted stage, you can remove rubble from the middle of the map to reveal 4 separate coffins. Each coffin is marked with a different symbol, and you need to match monkeys of a certain type to each coffin. So purple is magic, blue is primary, orangey yellow is support, and green is military. Place a tower of each type on the corresponding coffin and max them out, ensuring to spend as much as possible in the process. Obviously, I'm doing this on sandbox mode, but massive credit to anyone who manages to complete this in an actual game. Anyway, after that, place one of each monkey on the surrounding graves that I do, so that it looks something like this. Now add a super monkey in the middle of the 4 coffins and upgrade it to a sun temple, where at which point, this will happen. So despite only appearing for a few seconds, this gaping void is a tower called the Eggcellent, and it's pretty powerful. For example, it can easily deal with most balloons without much fuss, but its real power lies in how it handles Moabs. Here, take a look. So the Eggcellent will pull in any Moabs on the map, which can be very useful. Like I said, this is pretty expensive to achieve, so how useful it is in a real game, I don't know. But it is really cool. Now, there has long been speculation that this map was hiding a secret since its release 2 years ago, but that's not true. In fact, this Easter egg was only added recently in April's 42.0 update. Right, let's end today's video with Fallout London. Now, I usually don't cover mods in this series, but I have to make an exception for this. If I was to sit you down in front of a PC and press play on Fallout London and told you that this was an official Fallout sequel from Bethesda, I'm guessing the majority of you would believe me. Seriously, playing this mod for the first time the other night, I honestly couldn't quite believe how talented some people are. This is as close to a Fallout sequel as we are going to get for some time. And best of all, it's set in sunny old England, which as someone who calls this island home, is really damn cool. Now, the first Easter egg that I found in Fallout London is something that a lot of my British viewers will appreciate. Early on in the game, you can adopt a bulldog named Churchill, who becomes your companion as you explore London. Well, Churchill the dog is a reference to insurance company Churchill's bulldog mascot, who has featured in adverts for the company since 1994, with his signature catchphrase being repeated up and down the country to this day.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this next Easter egg in Fallout London references a controversy here in the UK that I still can't believe actually happened. In several parts of London, you can find a supermarket called Fresco, which is a reference to real-life supermarket chain Tesco. When exploring Fresco, you can of course find plenty of food to scavenge, and one such item are these everyday value mixed meat burgers. Now, you may notice that the animals listed on the box are a sheep, a duck, a horse, and a cow, and there's even the promise of 30% extra horse. Well, these burgers are a reference to the time that Tesco and others were actually caught selling beef burgers that contained horse meat, and in some cases were 100% horse meat. Like I said, I can't believe that this actually happened as recently as 2013. The final Fallout London Easter egg is actually pretty funny. At this location on the map, you can find this. So this is an obvious reference to platform 9 3/4 from Harry Potter, though in Fallout London it's called platform 9 2/3. We can see that somebody who was wearing black rimmed glasses, just like a certain boy wizard, tried passing through the wall to safety, like the kids do in Harry Potter, but platform 9 2/3 wasn't quite as welcoming. So that's it. If you could leave a like, it would really mean a lot, and if you think you know something that I haven't featured before, then be sure to leave it in the comments down below, and you'll be featured in the credits of a future video. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.